All right, guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead, and today we're making sawdust briquettes. Now, I don't know if you can see in these. We'll try and get them close here, but these have sawdust, chips, all kinds of different stuff in them, as well as a mix of paper and cardboard. Now, the formula I make for these are pretty simple, but if you haven't seen our other videos where we did cardboard and paper briquettes, go back and check those out. Now, with these, the formula I've found is the smaller sawdust you can get, the better. And if you can get like an oak or some other sawdust, it actually works better. Pine will work fine as long as it's very, very dry when you start this process. Now, when making these, we have definitely found that different biomasses burn at different heats. So at the end of this video, I will be doing a burn test, so make sure you stay to the end to see how long these burn. But today I'm going to be making these with a 50% sawdust and a 50% mix of paper and cardboard. It really doesn't matter if you have one or the other, that's fine. Now, a word about sawdust, because people for some reason think that there isn't sawdust every freaking where. Now, we cut firewood, as you can see behind me, so we go ahead and just pick up the chips, and that's what we get ours from. But you can go to different places like sawmills locally. In the dead of summer, they start giving that stuff away. They can't get rid of it fast enough. But you can also go to someone that does woodworking, bowl turning, use their chips, use their sawdust. Actually, some schools that still have shops in them will give it away. You'd be surprised if you just simply got on Craigslist or got on Facebook Marketplace, you can actually get truckloads of the stuff brought to you for a very cheap price. So let me show you how we make some free heat, and maybe it'll burn longer than just our paper and cardboard briquettes. Okay, so while it's not 100% necessary, I do think that getting a briquette press is an amazing thing to have to make your life easier. You can smush these together and squeeze the water out with your hands and just make balls if you want to. But this Vita XL makes 4 at a time, which makes short work of this for us. It literally has the base with the handles attached. This is the pullers, and this is the pressing plate. Pretty simple. I'll put links to this down in the description box and the pinned comment at the top to show you guys where you can get this. I think I paid like 80 some bucks for this, and it just makes life easier. Now, I will say that the handles that come with it, you push them like that, they bend super easy. So I would just suggest either standing on this or putting it in a homemade press like I'm about to show you here as we proceed through this. So let's talk mixture here. Now, you can use anything to mix this, any kind of drill. This is just a paint mixer. I've used this, but I took a paint mixer and welded on some little $1.99 blades I got off of Harbor Freight onto this to do like a cutting. But if you even just took the regular mixer and just run it long enough, it will pulverize all this stuff and bring it together into a basic slop that you can do this with. Now, as I said, we're going to use about 50% wood sawdust, chips, etc. from the chainsaw. So we'll go ahead and just put some of that in here. Got a few sticks we're going to have to pull out here. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and add some shredded paper that's been soaking in water. And then last, we're going to add some cardboard that's been soaking in water. All right, so now that we've got that in there, we're going to add some more water because it just makes it paddle easier when we're mixing it. Now, you do want to try and reclaim this water when you're pressing them out, just by simply putting your bucket under whatever you're using to press with. But we're just going to sit here and mix it up. That way it's going to become fully a pulp when we're done. You'll know because there will be no more chunks of cardboard, no more chunks of anything in it. Now, one thing you'll know is you don't have to soak all this paper and stuff ahead of time. You can just throw it in and do it. I soak it because you'll quickly see this stuff breaks down super easy when it's wet. All right, I'm gonna add some more sawdust and just keep repeating the process until it dries up a little bit. All right, so now you can see how thick it is. That means there's enough sawdust in here that you're not just lifting water every time you scoop some out. That's what I was going for. A little shake gets it off of it. And now we've got our mix, nice and simple. We're gonna go ahead and put it into the press and press out some briquettes. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and load up our mixture in and press out some briquettes. This is the easy part, honestly. So all I do is scoop up a bunch, pull off our top plate, and just start dumping them full. Now, generally, you should have buckets under this to capture that water to reuse it. But today, we're going to let it just drip out. Now, you do want to fill these completely full. You can even give them a little bit of a press to produce the biggest briquettes possible. Pretty simple stuff here, guys. I'm not trying to hurry up and really rip through it, but you see it's not taking any time. Okay. One more big scoop and we probably got it. All right, so now that we've got it all filled up, we're going to go ahead and put the presser plate in place, just like so, and just real slow, give it a little push. You see how the water starts to come out? That's why I said you could just put this on the ground and stand on it, and it'd be fine. But we want tight briquettes. So we're going to pour off our extra water that's on top. Then we're going to move it over and put it into our homemade press. Okay guys, now we've got it in our homemade press here. I just used some old scrap wood to build this, attached an old car jack. It's just to press it out faster. That way I'm not pulling it down, stepping on it, setting it back up. It's really a simple setup. We're gonna go ahead and just use a little impact. Put it on. Make sure it's centered. And just give it a press. Let it run a little water out. Hit it some more. The whole key to it is not to get in a hurry. And then once you see these hit the body, you've pressed it as far as it can go, or if it stops wanting to turn. So we'll go ahead and let that set for a second. And we'll back it off. Pull it up like that. Give it another push. Check the back ones, make sure they're down, which they are. Pull it up. Now we got to pull it out, and I'll show you how we remove the briquettes. Okay guys, so the next step is you pull your presser plate out. All right. Then you're going to go to each individual one and pull it out. And as you can see, you got a beautiful briquette. You lay it down its side, it falls right out. You put it back in, you're ready to make another one in that slot. And you just repeat the process. And just as simple as that, you just busted out 4 briquettes. So as you can see, it's a simple process, but we're not done yet. We need to go do the one thing that other people that create briquette videos never do, and that's the burn test. You want to see how long these burn for. You want to see them in action heating our home, because it is free heat, honestly, because we paid for none of this. Literally nothing here we paid for other than the tools. So the reality is we already own these tools, and you probably do too. So let's go down, let's see how these bad boys burn. All right guys, so we got a nice little fire started up here, and we've got our Sawdust Briquettes. Let's go ahead and put them in. Ooh, hot. All right, so now we got them in there. They're gonna start to take off. It is 5:16. So we will let them start to burn a little bit, and then we will bring you guys back in a half an hour and we'll see where we're at. But as you can clearly see, they're starting to take off pretty good. We'll also do some temperature readings, but man, they are really taking off well. All right guys, it's 5:45 as promised. So as you can see, they're still pretty much in their full form, but I will say the wind has been gusting outside pretty hard, and you'll see the fire swell up real quick. So I think it's going to skew our results a little bit, but we'll keep watching. They still have their complete form, and they are extremely, extremely hot. As far as temperature, I'm sure it's going to be off the charts. Let's see what we're getting here. Yeah, it won't even read. I think this thing goes up to, there's 300. Yeah, it won't even read, it just says high. So that is amazingly hot. But something else I wanted to show you is, let's go outside and take a look at the smoke. So as you can clearly see, there is zero smoke coming out of that chimney. It's burning, but it's burning super clean. Now part of that is the reburner on the stove. But the other part of that is you're cleaning a good, clean biomass product. So, as we're burning here, just to show you there's no trickery, they are still going strong. So we will give it another half an hour, come back and see where we're at. But even at the moment, you can see how the color keeps changing. That's because the wind gusts outside are sucking it up through the damper, which is going to make them burn a little faster than some of the other ones we've tested. But I think we're still going to do pretty good. All right, guys, so we're at an hour now. And these things have just been getting burnt up by the wind outside, catching the flue just right. We're still running it high. Remember, these burn like charcoal. So the outside's gonna ash down while the inside is just a big ball of fire. Big old coal. They're still holding their shape up pretty good considering they're an hour in. I have very little doubt they'll make it to an hour and a half, maybe an hour 45. But as I said, the results will be slightly skewed because of that wind. So another half an hour, we'll see where we're at. But so far, they're burning really good and really clean. I mean, look at the door. Door's open, you don't see a bit of smoke. It's all coals. That's what we want. All right, guys, so we are at 6:45. And I mean, I think we're getting to the end here. As I said, it's been blowing pretty good. Oh, it still says high. Okay, we're doing 600 and some there, 604, and then it goes to high depending upon where you are. So, yeah, just a little ball there and a little ball there. I mean, it's still together. It's still burning. This one, yeah, it's still got a little coal there too, look. So there's still some there. So we're definitely going to be able to get to about an hour and 45 minutes is probably going to be as much as you're going to get out of these. Like I said, it's kind of a skewed number because it's blowing so hard outside. And mind you, in all these tests, I run this stove wide open all the way up. So that's something to keep in mind. Obviously, it's probably not what I would run it normally. I'd probably run it about halfway, but I would also put more of these briquettes in at a time. So overall, I think a pretty good test. I think that the sawdust ones have obviously performed the best out of all of them we've done. And I would think that long term, that will be the mix I stick with the most. But we still have one more to try, and that is coffee briquettes. So be looking for that video coming soon. And if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have by now, go down, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see all of our upcoming videos. Make sure you go down in the comments and tell us what you think of these. Have you ever made these or burnt these? I'm going to tell you, those are still some good temperatures that are coming out of those little chunks. But with that said, we will see you in the next one.